I don't remember the last time I got the Panther for any reading. So this is a bit of a unique moment. So the Tower is Panther energy. Panther energy is all about change, ferocity, really coming from a place of primal instinct and emotion. What's really interesting about this is that in your meditation, we looked at the mouse and the donkey, and it felt like this very sweet energy about perspective and being of service and looking at the bigger picture and legacy and all of that. And then we have the Panther here, which is about a big shift and a big change within your universe. But this is also about really coming from a place of reaction and spontaneous movement, right? It's just like it's reaction over response, which is really interesting here. Very, 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 very interesting. We could be looking at a big shakeup in your life circumstances in some way, shape, or form, Aries, for sure. But I feel like of all the signs, like who would get the Panther, like you guys are like, yeah, okay, Panther energy. And it's interesting because with the star energy that I felt in your opening meditation, that's very much about alignment and wish fulfillment. And then we had the Tower here, which is a big change. So really, really interesting here. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Right. So you got this in the reverse, but I'll hold it in the upright. The Chariot, this is Cancerian energy, which is the season that we're in, right? So that's really beautiful. It's a major arcana. So you have two major arcanas here, which denote, destined and fated events. So it's a significant time for you, Aries. It's not arbitrary. So interestingly enough, with this Chariot energy, this is very much about fast forward movement that is balanced and laced with purpose, right? It's about, I know exactly where I'm going. I'm motivated, I'm inspired, and I'm full speed ahead. But it's interesting because it came up in the reverse. So let's talk about these roosters briefly. Roosters equate to a Six of Pentacles kind of energy, which is about give and take and reciprocity. Do you remember in your meditation how it came through, how well are you giving to yourself in terms of how much you've given for others? Or what's that balance or reciprocity? How are the scales looking in terms of like what's on either side of them, right? So it's interesting that this is coming up in this way. I feel like you're being called to really take time out to really look at where you're going and why. I'm hearing reassess accordingly with the Chariot energy. It feels like either where you thought you were going, it feels a bit different now, or it could have gotten delayed or rerouted in some way, or you're being called to really reassess your own best personal needs in some way. But you're being asked to look at something differently, to reassess or reimagine. The keyword being like right? Reinvent, repurpose. That feels really, really strong to me with Chariot in reverse. This is about a delay or a stalemate, really taking some time out to reconsider the path ahead, basically. Right. Okay. So here we have the Five of Swords, Aries. So this is making a lot of sense. So Five of Swords is about, it's a number of change, of course, but Five of Swords is either you or those around you not acting within their own integrity. This is behaving in ways that are a disservice to you and or others around you, right? It does feel like you're going through a bit of a bumpy moment. It's interesting because they keep drawing my attention back to the meditation. I feel like as a way to say, like, the star is an aspect of having hope that comes after troubled times. Because did you know that in the sequence of the major arcana, that the number 16 key is the Tower and that the star is right after it, number 17? So I feel like this is a comment, that meditation is a comment on like, okay, things are shifting, things are shaking up, but the reason that Tower moments happen is to realign you on your highest and best path. So this Five of Swords here, I feel like there are aspects going on that are not in your best interest and don't necessarily feel great. It feels harsh, right? with this stag energy here, it's very much about compassion and sweetness and generosity. Very similar to the donkey and the mouse, actually. But look at this. Look at this deer. It has no place in this harsh environment. And I feel like there's an aspect, of yourself or around you that's just going, be easy with yourself, be gentle with yourself, and seek out people, places, things, and situations that are comforting and kind. I feel like there's an energy, I feel like, where something is either unfair or you're not getting back what you gave. And it feels really unfair. It feels really unfair. And you're really being asked to kind of notice that, look at it, and then, allow yourself to be adjusted accordingly. And I say that very specifically. It's not look at it and adjust accordingly. It's look at it and allow yourself to be adjusted accordingly. Because it does feel like a lot is shifting within and around you, right? And it's just about surrendering to that, going with the flow of it, and not coming from a place of resistance, right? I mean, so happy to see this. So then we have the 8 of Wands. This is really brilliant how this is storyboarding, and I'm really excited for you. So the 8 of Wands, the wands are about the actions that we do or do not take, usually around the work that we love to do, but they can also be about, our interpersonal relationships that really fuel us, that we're really passionate about. So with the 8 of Wands, this is about an upward movement and ascension. This is communication. This is messages. This is travel opportunities. This is offers. This is going from one place to a better place quickly, right? It's literally a ladder. You're ascending a ladder quickly. And with this Falcon energy here as well, it will feel like it happens pretty quickly. But what's interesting here is I'm really drawn to the snake here, which is a sign of healing, right? It's healing. It's sort of, it's similar to an Ace of Wands energy in that it's the reward that comes after healing, the ability to feel, reinvigorated and renewed and whole again. I feel like you're being called to shed aspects of your life or the way that you go about doing things. And sometimes when changes want to be made, and we either don't get that memo or we do get the memo, but we're resistant to that, then the universe will step in and give us a series of tower moments or one big tower moment because we've stepped out of alignment of our highest and best path. In my experience, this also happens very often when we've made more choices from fear than love. When we've made more choices from fear than love, then we really knock ourselves out of alignment and then tower moments happen. And it's interesting how you can sort of chart it backwards, which is, Chariot in reverse. Okay. When you chart it backwards and you kind of look and say, you know what, let me look at other tower moments that have happened in my life. And let me think about the choices that I made that got me there. Let me chart it backwards. Okay. Well, this is a job that didn't work out, that went really badly and didn't work out for me. And it was really hard. And when it ended and all this, let me look at the choices that got me there. Well, you know what? I had a weird feeling in that initial interview. I didn't feel good about it. But then when they offered me the job, the money was, I needed the money. So I went for it, even though my instinct was telling me there was probably something better. I was really tired of searching for a job. So I just said yes. Right? Which was a decision made from fear and not love, right? Love choice would have been, you know what? My intuition is telling me to say no to this. And I know that something better that's going to, make me happy and I'm going to feel really excited about. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no type of situation. So you say no to something and then you trust that something better is going to come along as a result of saying no, right? That's just an example of being able to chart backwards and go, how did my fear-based choices get me to whatever tower moments? And it can provide a greater sense of understanding and clarity. And then through that lens, kind of like with the mouse and the, donkey energy, really gifting yourself the gift of forgiveness and compassion for the choices that you made or that, were made around you that were maybe didn't feel exactly like they were in your highest and best good, back to that Five of Swords, right? But it feels like you're being asked to chart things backwards and really take a look at the ways in which you have been a disservice to yourself, and or you have allowed yourself to be disserviced by others. That feels incredibly important here. And with this Panther, this Tower energy, I feel like it's going to be very obvious in some way. Very obvious. And in doing so, it's allowing you to kind of cut those ties, put those X marks down, these dead trees here, and then really ascend onward and upwards, right? It's like you go from this being, you know, the stumps in the ground to like flying through the air with the greatest of ease. A daring young Aries. On the flying trapeze. I had to finish it. So it's really interesting here, Aries. You're really being called to do kind of a recalibration and take a look at some things for sure. Let's go ahead and get some advice for you. Why don't we though? Let's get some advice for Aries. Oh, look, I split the deck. I got the Eight of Wands. A lie. Let's get some advice. Okay. Oh my. Someone else just got this as advice too. I don't remember who. The Fool. Man, when your advice is the Fool, it's just, you got to love a moment where it's very clear. So the Fool is about taking a leap of faith to start a whole new chapter, right? Remember that example that I gave you about saying no to something that felt wrong in order to trust that something better was going to come along as a result of you remaining available? That's the Fool all day, every day. This is jumping down the rabbit hole. What's really interesting here as well is that the rabbit hole makes me think of rabbit energy, right? And this is Alice from Alice in Wonderland. You know, she meets the rabbit almost immediately, the white rabbit. Rabbit energy is largely about fear. On the shadow aspect of it, it's about fear and self-fulfilling prophecy, being frozen in fear, making fear-based choices. But the light side of rabbit energy is abundance and fertility. So an aspect of rabbit medicine is abundance lies on the other side of fear. So it's coming through for you. When your advice is the Fool, you are being asked to take that leap of faith, leave behind what wants to be left behind, and full speed ahead. Chart it backwards. Be honest and compassionate with yourself about the ways that maybe you've been a disservice to yourself. Maybe there's self-sabotage inherent in this as well. And or you've allowed others to disserve you, right? Which will allow you to really move forward. It's like you heal a valve and then it's just like you're able to ascend forward and something really heals and things begin to shift for you very quickly as a result of doing this work and allowing yourself to come into greater awareness. Again, there's a tower moment around this, but I feel like you're being called to, I don't want to say like divine anger, but I'm hearing to, as an Aries especially, like being a fire sign, being the Emperor, allow yourself to feel strongly about where you are, how you got there, what in your situation is not reciprocal or not fair or not right or not of love. Again, this can be within and for yourself, how you are with yourself and or people in your surroundings. But I'll tell you what, we allow others to treat us like we treat ourselves. Right? If we allow others to treat us badly, it's because we treat ourselves badly. But if we truly treat ourselves well, we expect others to do the same. And it all goes back to self-worth ultimately. So with the Fool, you are being invited to take a leap of faith into a brand new cycle like a child would. Really leave behind what needs to be left behind and go forward in that star energy that says, like, there are beautiful, wonderful times to come. Go through this shakeup, go through this realignment, and as a result, be realigned with your highest and best potential. And that's really beautiful. When the Fool is your advice, it's really, really positive, right? I'm going to get Oracle for you. Let's do this. Let's do Earth Magic Oracle. Why not? Oh, ho. Right. So we got one, and then I took the one on the bottom as well because it felt right. Stone people, vigilance. Interesting, right? I feel like this is a direct comment on what we're talking about, but I got to tell you, I feel like as it relates to the Fool, be vigilant with yourself. Be mindful of when you're really be an investigator of, are your choices coming from fear or from love? Be an investigator of your own inner motives. Be vigilant with yourself around this. Because an aspect of Five of Swords as well can be sort of, acting outside of your own best interest. Think about this. You're being asked to be vigilant with yourself and really insist on full self-awareness. Even though it may not be completely pleasant, you can do so, through a lens of compassion and forgiveness for yourself as well. If you would want for others to forgive you, then forgive yourself as well. Remember, treat yourself well and others will do the same. That's what it is, right? Tsunami, wake-up call. This directly links to that Panther energy. We've got the moon aspect of this here, and it's right here as well. Also, moon is the ruling house or ruling planet of Cancerians in the Chariot here. Wake-up call. This is exactly what we're talking about, but it really is an aspect of this that says Spirit is coming in to realign you and shake things up in order to put you back on your highest and best path. It's really about allowing it, going with it, working with the energy as it is from a place of flow, non-resistance, and faith as well. So it's really beautiful, Aries. You absolutely got this. With that being said, I'm sending you so much love and many blessings for your second half of July. I so hope that this helped and resonated. If so, please let me know in the comments below. I love reading your comments. I respond to every single one of them. I just love it. So I'd really appreciate that. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'd be so, so grateful. And lastly, just thank you. Thank you so, so much for being here. Thank you. And most of all, and as always, just thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.